Happy Saturday, crypto fam. What a beautiful day to be stacking sats. In today's show, Bitcoin holds the 200-week average as trader says an inflection point is here. And quoting podcaster Jimmy Dore, if you're into freedom and liberty and being able to have autonomy to oppose oligarchies in the establishment, you're going to be interested in Bitcoin because that's what's going to give you the power. Also, Gemini and Genesis filed to dismiss SEC lawsuit against the Earn product, as well as the one and only crypto troll Peter Schiff to drop a Bitcoin Ordinals NFT art collection. That's right, you can't make this stuff up, folks. Quoting Max Kaiser, Peter Schiff takes a poop in the punch bowl, hoping people forget he passed on buying Bitcoin at $1, $10, $100, and $1,000. And all four times I pitched him to buy it. Also, in today's show, Apple and Google are systemic risks to crypto, explains the ex-Coinbase CTO, Balaji. Also in today's show, according to JPMorgan Chase, the Bitcoin price can reach 45,000 soon due to the rising gold price. Also in today's show, Bitcoin could erupt 150% this year and shatter the all-time high, according to crypto analysts, Credible Crypto. I'll be breaking this down for you. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this, plus so much more, in today's show. And welcome everyone tuning in. This is pod episode number 1294. I'm your host JV. Happy Saturday Stacking Sats Day. Today is May 27th, 2023. Checking out the market watch, which you can see here clearly on your screen. We got Bitcoin correcting down about 0.25% for the day, trading above 26,700. We have Ether down 0.3%, trading just above 1,800. We have BNB also in the red, down 0.75%, trading at $305, while XRP, Doge, Litecoin, Solana, and Polkadot all in the green. And checking out coinmarketcap.com, the current crypto market cap sitting just above $1.1 trillion with about 20 billion in volume in the past 24 hours, which is pretty low. Bitcoin dominance on the decline at 46.2%, and the Ether dominance steady like yesterday at 19.6%. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers in the past 24 hours, AGIX leading the pack up 5%, trading above 31 cents, followed by NEO up 4%, trading above 10 bucks, followed by Hobby token up 3%, trading at $3.25. Below that, we have EOS and Zcash. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers for the past week, well, let's start with the biggest losers. PulseX down 17%, PLS down 10.8%, and RNDR down 7%. The biggest gainers are pretty modest. AGIX leading the pack up 4.8%, and NEO up 4.2%. And checking out the Crypto Greed and Fear Index, one of my favorite indicators, we're still stuck in neutral, rated a 48 for today. Yesterday was a 49, last week a 48, and last month a 59 in greed. So there you have it. And welcome everyone just tuning in. I appreciate each and every one of your support. Now let's dive into today's Bitcoin technical analysis and check out the charts in the Bitcoin price action. Bitcoin held its most recent gains at the May 27th as traders called for a change in bearish market sentiment, which you can see here in the Bitcoin 1-hour candle chart. Now data from Cointelegraph Markets Pro and TradingView followed Bitcoin as it entered the weekend at around 26,700. The week's macroeconomic data from the US ended with a surprise as the new PCE index print shows the economy weathering tighter financial conditions much better than expected. Markets then began to price in a June interest rate hike from the Federal Reserve, which should form a headwind for risk assets, but failed to dampen a Bitcoin price rebound. And despite the comeback of the price action, the mood remained overly cautious for some. Quoting crypto analyst Mikhail Van de Popp, retail is so extremely bearish on Bitcoin and crypto, it's almost insane. People are stuck in the 2022 mindset, and popular trader Sku noted Bitcoin's strong reaction to the 200-week moving average, which currently sits near 26,000, with more key trendline challenges now in the making. Quoting him here, price trying to reclaim the 100-day moving average after a nice move up from the 200-week moving average. Price is currently pinned between the 4-hour exponential moving averages and the 1-day exponential moving averages, expecting a pretty major move soon. Inflection point is here, in my opinion. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the analyst, expecting or anticipating a major move, whether that's to the upside or to the downside. And Sku says Bitcoin Binance open interest price is hovering around the previous breakdown, a majority of the over leverage, or I should say open interest, which has been cleared out. 12,000 Bitcoin valued at 320 million, a lot less. He says, in the market, meaning whichever way the spot moves, probably wouldn't fade it. And Sku is not the only well-known voice calling for the pronounced shift in the Bitcoin price behavior next. We also have Analyst Checkmate pretty much repeating the same thing. And fellow trader and analyst Rec Capital stated that additional strength was still needed to flip the trajectory to the bull's favor. Quoting him here, Bitcoin's still in the middle of the red downtrending channel, just consolidating here with the red resistance area above the crucial one to beat its if sentiment is to decisively shift into the short term, as outlined here in this chart. And again, let me know if you agree or disagree with the crypto analyst. And quoting Jimmy Dore, he recently did an interview with Max Kaiser, and he says, if you're into freedom and liberty and being able to have autonomy to oppose oligarchies and the establishment, you're going to be interested in Bitcoin because that's what's going to give you the power. Facts. So there you have it. And now let's discuss our next breaking story of the day, and that's Gemini's Earn product. They're actually now going after the SEC. They're saying it's unlawful what they were doing to their product, as we all know. Now, crypto exchange Gemini and bankrupt crypto lender Genesis Global have jointly filed for dismissal of the SEC lawsuit. The lawsuit claims Gemini Earn, which let customers lend crypto assets such as Bitcoin to Genesis, with Gemini taking a fee as high as 4.29%, violated security regulations by offering unregistered securities. The company's legal filings contend that Gemini Earn should not be classified as a security. Genesis argued the transactions were essentially loans and requested the court to dismiss the complaint or, alternatively, strike the SEC's request for a permanent injunction and disgorgement. Furthermore, the allegation stated that Gemini, not Genesis, was responsible for the customer-facing aspects of the Earn program. Gemini, which declared its role as a transfer agent for Earn, criticized the SEC lawsuit as ill-conceived in a blog update addressed to the Earn users. And following the SEC's lawsuit in January, Genesis subsequently filed for bankruptcy, leading to Earn users facing withdrawals restrictions since mid-November of last year. And in response, Gemini filed a comprehensive claim on Monday, May 22nd, aiming to recover over $1.1 billion in assets for 232,000 Earn users. I truly hope these users get these assets returned to them, but you never know. Gemini and Genesis's parent company, the Digital Currency Group, are in mediated negotiations to develop a restructuring and settlement agreement. A preliminary deal from February hasn't been finalized, and earlier this month, DCG dismissed a $630 million loan payment to Genesis. And at the same time, Gemini and other creditors are collaborating on an amended plan for reorganization that can be pursued independently if the mediation process fails. The objective is to ensure the optimal outcome for the Earn users, as stated by the exchange in its blog post. Now, in a recent tweet, we have Jack Bogman, founding partner of JFB Legal, which represents Gemini, said the SEC's case is only making it harder and more complicated to retrieve assets from the Genesis bankruptcy to make Earn users whole. It does nothing to speed up the process and unlock assets that need to be returned to the Earn users. So, Mr. No Clarity Gary, let's do something about that. Return these funds where they belong, to the customers. How many of you were infected by Gemini Earn? Let me know in the comments right down below. I'm hoping they do the right thing, but I have no faith in the SEC because they're not looking out for investors. They're looking out for themselves at the end of the day. It is what it is. Now for the next breaking story. Could you believe this? The infamous Bitcoin troll himself, Peter Schiff, is minting NFT Ordinals on the Bitcoin blockchain. Can you believe this? I can't make this stuff up, folks. This is the least thing I expected to see this morning. And what seems like a parody but isn't, economist, gold proponent, and vocal crypto skeptic Peter Schiff has unveiled a collaborative, non-fungible token art collection on the Bitcoin network that will soon go up for auction. The reaction from the crypto community has been mixed, with people generally baffled, amused, or welcoming, especially ordinal proponents, with some keen to point out the apparent hypocrisy. That's right, as UD Werthmeier points out here, ordinal enjoyers managed to onboard Peter Schiff to Bitcoin in 3 months, laser eyes seething after failing to get him to join for 10 years. And then some people said, this can't be true. Is it a hack? I am so confused. Yeah, me too. For years, Schiff has actively bashed crypto, especially Bitcoin, at any chance, with his arguments revolving around Bitcoin being a Ponzi scheme with no inherent value. Despite all of that, Schiff unveiled the Golden Triumph NFT collection in a May 27th tweet this morning in collaboration with one of his favorite artists who goes by the synonym Market Price. This collaboration features the original painting Golden Triumph, as well as a series of prints and ordinals inscribed on the Bitcoin blockchain. And quoting Peter Schiff right here on crypto Twitter, "I am pleased to announce an art project with one of my favorite artists, Market Price. This collaboration features the original painting Golden Triumph, as well as a series of prints and ordinals inscribed on the Bitcoin blockchain." And then he says, for more information, go here. Now, my favorite response has been Max Kaiser's response. He says, Peter Schiff takes a poop in the punch bowl, hoping people forget he passed on buying Bitcoin at $1, $10, $100, and $1,000, all 4 times in which I pitched him to buy it. That's right. So, I mean, it is what it is. Now, Golden Trump consists of one physical painting on an oil linen canvas depicting a human hand holding a bar of gold, 50 prints on an archival paper depicting the same image, and 50 digital versions inscribed as ordinal NFTs on Bitcoin. The collection will be sold via a 2-part auction starting on June 2nd, which is a few days away, and ending on June 9th. And for the ordinals, the highest bidder will receive number 1 of the collection, with the next 49 highest bidders receiving number 2 and number 50 in descending order. It appears that Peter Schiff hasn't done a complete turnaround on Bitcoin, but has woken up to a use case for blockchain technology, verifiable ownership of assets such as art via NFTs. And commenting on Schiff's tweet, Twitter user Lone Star Bitcoin asks, "So it's valuable to put your gold inscriptions on Bitcoin, but Bitcoin itself is not valuable?" And Peter Schiff responded, believe it or not, with correct. And alongside his disdain for crypto, Schiff also criticized NFTs on several occasions in the past. In a blog post from March 2021, Schiff described NFTs as fake assets that offer nothing other than ownership of a digital image that can be replicated endlessly online. But even the owner of the image, you won't be able to control access to it. The file has been copied thousands of times, so anyone with access to the internet can look at it as much as you, he wrote. So talk about the ultimate hypocrite, Peter Schiff, the infamous Bitcoin troll. Now, the sharp change in sentiment followed in a similar vein to former U.S. President Donald Trump, who also aggressively slammed crypto, especially Bitcoin, on multiple occasions before getting involved with NFTs. In December of 2022, Trump teased a major announcement that supporters thought was politically related before unveiling the Trump digital trading cards collection. So even the biggest Bitcoin trolls and haters, they embrace Bitcoin, at least from the NFT level, like Schiff and Trump. And like I said, you can't make this stuff up, folks. Anyways, now for our next breaking story of the day, let's discuss the latest with Apple and Google. And can they be trusted? Well, I don't think so. Well, at least according to the ex-Coinbase CTO, Balaji, this is a systemic risk. That's right. Former Coinbase CTO expressed concerns about the potential risks posed by major tech companies in the crypto industry. He specifically highlighted Apple and Google as systemic risks, suggesting that the federal government could exploit their devices to gain access to private keys. That's right. Balaji's remarks made via Twitter on May 19th raised important questions about the intersection of technology, politics, and the future of cryptocurrencies. Balaji emphasized the increasing importance of cryptos in global politics, drawing parallels to the role of social media platforms like Twitter and Facebook played in catalyzing the Arab Spring of 2010. He argued that in the coming years, the possession of sufficient Bitcoin by financially struggling governments could become a crucial political issue. Quoting him here, by the end of this decade, the most important political issue in the world may be whether bankrupt governments have sufficient Bitcoin to fund their operations. And under such circumstances, Balaji speculated of the actions desperate governments might take to acquire BTC. And instead of relying on a traditional 51% attack through mining, he suggested the Fed could coerce tech giants like Apple and Google and other companies into searching for private keys on their servers, devices, and browsers. So you have been warned. This strategy would enable the government to appropriate funds acquired, serving as a financial lifeline for cash-strapped administrations. Balaji stressed that this scenario should be viewed as a cyber war rather than cyber terrorism, as it involves CEOs of companies giving lawful orders to hack their own customers. Balaji highlighted the immense scale of such attacks involving billions of iPhones, Android phones, Mac laptops, Chrome browsers, Google Docs, and Gmail accounts. And quoting him again here, exchanges built on Linux are of another possible answer, but those are, of course, custodial and possibly also vulnerable to similar attacks. So there you have it. How many of you actually trust the Fed and the government when it comes to private keys and these tech companies? All I know is this: anyone asking for your private keys, including hardware, wallet, ledger, do not give them to you. Because if you give them to them, you're ultimately trusting your hard-earned crypto with a third party. And as we all know, third parties cannot be trusted. That's why we have Bitcoin. You don't need to depend upon a third party to self-custody your crypto. You can self-custody it yourself. That's the beauty. It's unconfiscatable. It's uncorruptible. And it makes it, what it is at the end of the day. And I know I'm preaching to the choir. But anyways, fam, now let's discuss JPMorgan Chase's 45,000 Bitcoin price prediction. And then we'll touch upon a very bullish prediction of 135,000 this year in 2023 before we dive into some live Q&A. So yeah, JPMorgan is bullish on Bitcoin, believe it or not. The current gold price of nearly 2,000 per ounce would imply a Bitcoin price of 45,000 according to JPMorgan Analyst, as the two assets tend to move in tandem and are seen as alternatives by investors. And with the gold price rising above 2,000, the value of gold held for investment purposes outside of central banks is currently valued at around $3 trillion. And in turn, this implies a $45,000 Bitcoin price action under the assumption the Bitcoin equalizes gold and private investor portfolios in risk capital adjusted terms. JPMorgan strategist led by Nicholas wrote in a note on Wednesday, JPMorgan considers the 45,000 Bitcoin price as an upper limit, indicating limited potential for the asset beyond the increase driven by the doubling of mining or production costs. The upcoming Bitcoin halving scheduled for April or May of 2024, roughly 11 months out, would mechanically double Bitcoin's production cost to around $40,000 according to JPMorgan. Let me know if you agree or disagree. This is because Bitcoin's production cost has historically acted as an effective lower bound, JPMorgan strategist said. Indeed, the previous halving events of 2016 and 2020 were accompanied by a bullish trajectory for the Bitcoin prices that had accelerated the post-halving event. Now, the Bitcoin halving is an event that occurs approximately every 4 years, reducing the reward for mining new Bitcoin blocks by half, effectively decreasing the rate at which new Bitcoins are created in order to control inflation and maintain the scarcity of Bitcoin over time. The upcoming Bitcoin halving will see the block reward halve from 6.25 Bitcoin to 3.125 BTC. So there you have it. Let me know if you agree or disagree with JPMorgan Chase, and do you feel that the realistic price of Bitcoin right now is 45,000? Holla at your boy. Now let's discuss 135,000 for the King Crypto this year, according to crypto analysts, Credible Crypto. That's right. He is expressing confidence that Bitcoin can put a new all-time high this year. Credible says to his 340,000 Twitter followers, Bitcoin hit a fresh all-time high this year based on historical precedents. Could hit. According to Credible, Bitcoin can replicate the previous impulse waves, such as the one witnessed in 2020, when Bitcoin struggled for many months to climb above a key resistance level prior to hitting new all-time highs. Quoting him here, keep hearing, how can we reach a new all-time high before the end of this year? It is impossible. Well, about where I think we are now compared to our last impulse of 2020, note that the support resistance flip and retest at 10,000 took about 3 months to complete. 2 months later, we rallied 90% to new all-time highs. And 4 months after that, we hit our top for the impulse, just a total of 6 months after completing the support resistance flip and retest at 10,000 and over 500% higher. Don't tell me it can't be done when it's literally been done before. I'll see y'all at the new all-time highs, likely sometime this year. And if you actually check out this chart and blow it up, it shows you a price action within the next 6 months of $135,000 for the King Crypto. Now, at this time, it means Bitcoin would need to surge by over 150% to revisit the record high of 69,000, which was slightly at around that level, reached back in November of 2021. Now, Credible Crypto says there are key differences in the price action of Bitcoin in 2023 compared to 3 years ago. Quoting him again, a couple of things to note. Number one, we haven't yet gotten a perfect retest of the black support resistance level at 25.2. Note that in 2020, we tested 10,000 and wicked below to complete the retest. This doesn't have to happen, but it's certainly possible. We haven't yet put in our local low for this retest. Regardless, the downside should generally be limited from the current levels if the thesis is valid. Number two, while we know history doesn't necessarily repeat it often rhymes, don't expect an exact time plus price correlation. The movement should just be similar. And number three, as stated in the previous updates, the ascent on impulses only gets steeper as we move into a parabolic advance, meaning the rate of ascent you are now seeing now should be the slowest rate of ascent of this entire move to an all-time high. And it is moving pretty slowly. And he continues, this is why such a rapid ascent to prior all-time highs is not just realistic, but in fact expected if we are seeing the beginnings of a major impulse here. Note with both prior prior impulses of this cycle, 3 to 14,000 and 10 to 60,000. The bigger candles are seen, the higher we climb. So there you have it. Let me know if you agree or disagree with Credible Crypto and his $135,000 Bitcoin price prediction. And do you realistically feel we've returned to all-time highs above 69,000 this year in 2023? Let me know your honest thoughts in the comments right down below. And now for some live Q&A. Welcome to each and every one of y'all in the live chat. Good to see you bring facts. We have Jim Junkie Crypto. We got Megadon, Bitcoin Maximus, Johnny Rico, What's Poppin', Coin Father, Digital Dankness, Selling with Twins. We have Steve Kingston in the building. We got Mike. We got Barry, South Africa in the building as well. Smash the like button on the way in. Says Selling with Twins. Drop a comment after the sum. It helps with the algorithm. I appreciate that, and that is absolutely correct. The more interaction from the live show, the more we get rewarded on the YouTube algorithm. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you're subscribed if not already, and hit the bell icon to turn on all notifications so you get notified every single time we go live. Good morning, Mike M. Good morning, Johnny Midas. Says Desert Greetings, everyone. Greetings. Full up on coffee and checking my emails, says Volkman. Word up. 26.8 looks like near-term resistance. It does seem to be that way as we're currently just above 26.6, looking to get back above that hurdle. We shall soon see. Hope everyone is having an epic weekend. Me too. Hope y'all having a blast. This is pod episode number 1294. And what are your thoughts on Peter Schiff launching an NFT collection on basically BRC20? Which is the Bitcoin protocol for NFTs, like the ERC, which is the Ethereum version, but now on Bitcoin. What are your thoughts? Your fans await. I appreciate that. Much love. Mojo Jojo says, greetings. Shout out from San Juan, Puerto Rico. We got Puerto Rico in the building. Shout out to everyone here in this beautiful island. Jester Chester, nice and cool. And ATL, that's what's up. Shout out to Atlanta, or I should say Statlanta, because you'd be stacking them stats in Atlanta, right? Remember his bank getting shut down? I do recall that. Bitcoin can't be stopped, but good luck to Pickle Sniffer. Referring to Peter Schiff, I do recall that his bank here in Puerto Rico got shut down by the local authorities. Yes, sir, says, keep up the grind, JV, coming here after almost 3 years. Good to see this channel still running. Greatly appreciate that and appreciate everyone's continued support. If it wasn't for your support, I wouldn't be here, right? So thank you. What's good? Dad says big up to JV. Big up to the dads out there. What up, JV and Crypto News Alerts fam? Good to see you, Maximus. Always a pleasure. Sailing with Twins. Good to see you as always. Steve Kingston was good. Peter Schiff. Yeah, you can't make this stuff up. Got a face made for punching. Hope no one will buy it. I mean, you got to be crazy to be supporting Peter Schiff in crypto. He's the biggest crypto hater. He's been the most persistent since I got in the space in 2017. Since then, he's been bashing Bitcoin, saying it's going to go to zero. So for him to release an NFT collection, I think it really tells you that he understands there is value, there is real value in Bitcoin and in the Bitcoin blockchain, but he just fails to recognize it because he's sticking to his stick, which is, I'm anti-Bitcoin, I'm the gold guy, everyone in Bitcoin should invest in gold, but he's looking to sell you gold. Does that make any sense? So he's bashing Bitcoin, but he's tapping into the crypto market to sell gold. That's his stick. That's what he does. You know what I mean? But did you know his son, I believe his name was Spencer Schiff, he is very bullish on Bitcoin and has been for a very long time and has been calling his father out. So much respect to the younger Schiff generation, such as Spencer. Not a good look for Peter, but it is what it is, man. Hope it is stolen, says Bring Facts. Jim says, health is your wealth. Bitcoin is your freedom. I love that and agree 100%. And what good is your freedom without your health? They go side by side. You need health just as much as you need wealth. You need wealth as much as you need health. But I say health is the most important because without it, you have nothing. You know what I mean? Trust no one. Verify everything. 100% Maximus. Thanks for the reminder. You deserve the price you buy Bitcoin at. That is a fact. How many of you watched the recent interview with Jimmy Dore with Max Kaiser? And Jimmy Dore was orange pilled by Max a very long time ago, but it took Jimmy Dore seeing Kennedy Jr. speak at the Miami Bitcoin conference just recently to be orange pilled, and now he's a big believer in Bitcoin, but he's paying the price he deserves. It is what it is. Everyone gets in at the price they deserve. Remember Michael Saylor? He was anti-Bitcoin, bashing it on Twitter a few years back. And then he came around, I think, in 2021. And now, lo and behold, MicroStrategy, the first publicly traded company to put Bitcoin on its balance sheet, they now hold 140,000 BTC, one of the largest, I think the largest corporate hodler, minus like the government. The government also has a lot because they've confiscated a lot of Bitcoin over the years from Silk Road, different exchanges, yada, yada, yada. But yeah, I agree. Trust no one, verify everything. Fact says I sure did. I deserve all the told you so's I can get. I feel you. CoinFather says we're weeks away from the dump in the markets when I expect to see a 15 to 20% dump in the S&P. How do you feel Bitcoin is likely to react to that? Let me know. When halving meets hyperinflation, better wear a G suit. Anyone heading to the halving party in El Salvador? Is there a halving party? I want to know about it. I may join y'all. When halving meets my stagflation, take care. Have a happy y'all. Off to the farmer's market. Enjoy yourself, Michael. Appreciate you tuning in live as always. Bitcoin NFTs are trash, just like all NFTs, says CoinFather. Axel Huddle, JV, are you considering a monthly subscription on Twitter? Honestly, I never thought about it. I like giving away everything for free. Maybe that's a problem. I can do, premium subscriptions on YouTube. I guess you can do that now on Twitter. But I'm just all for giving away my best content for free. So for me, I wouldn't want to charge for that. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. Playing ranges for another year, apparently. I'm bullish long-term Bitcoin, but not for the next 9 to 12 months, really. So where do you think we drop to? Do you think we see a lower low from the current cycle low of 15.7? Or are you thinking, what are your thoughts? Let me know. 2024 is going to be interesting for sure. That's right, because not only is their Bitcoin halving, but now we have the presidential election, and you have a Republican and Democrat candidate. We have Kennedy Jr. as well as DeSantis, both pro-Bitcoin and anti-CBDC. This is good. It doesn't matter what party. It's bipartisan issue. And as Max said, Bitcoin will be the biggest issue for the presidential election. I truly believe that. And anyone who is smart will be pro-Bitcoin, anti-CBDC. We already know Trump and Biden are anti-Bitcoin and pro-CBDC. And we know that Kennedy Jr. and DeSantis are pro-Bitcoin and anti-CBDC. So it will be very interesting, to say the least. The South African rand has been seen in arse against the dollar, so my crypto goes up. Word. I am the older generation, just not stuck in the mud. Word up. And have a great Memorial weekend. That's right. Happy Memorial Day to everyone out there. Happy holiday weekend. Hope you have a blast with the fam. Sticking to his stick, sniffing a gold dick. Facts. That's hilarious. I bet Peter Schiff writes checks at the supermarket and tucks his pants in his socks with flip-flops. No comment. I still feel we hit between 12 and 15,000 Bitcoin. Oh, wow. Okay. So you're calling for a new low for this cycle. I don't see it, but, I'm open-minded to anything. If it did happen, I'd seize the moment and I'd take advantage of that dip. I mean, how many of you wouldn't buy Bitcoin up as much as you could at 12 to 15,000, especially when it's 26 right now? I personally feel that we never see a sub $20,000 Bitcoin price ever again. And I also am optimistic we can return to an all-time high this year. So I'm actually very bullish. I'm not as optimistic as Credible Crypto. I'm not looking at 135,000. But climbing back on up towards that all-time high, very realistic. And I think next year, 11 months out from today's date, is the Bitcoin halving, scheduled to be around April of 2024. Very optimistic at around that time, because that's what drives the entire bull market. There's 4-year cyclical cycles, as history has shown. You know what I mean? And then typically the year preceding the halving is when we hit the all-time high, which I'm anticipating in 2025. I think we could be at like $200,000 to $300,000 as the peak high. But what are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments down below. Digital dankness, maybe not so smart, but open-minded. Also a bit of an adventurous rebel. Well, shout out to all the rebels out there. If you're a Bitcoiner, you're a rebel. I agree with Credible Crypto. Bitcoin should hit 100,000 plus this year. Now, that's obviously not the main sentiment. Most people are not anticipating that, but you do have Credible Crypto. You got Max Kaiser. You got Tim Draper. You have Samson Mao. There's still a lot of very bullish analysts and people with a lot of clout that, I look up to and we cover here often in the show. So it's absolutely possible. I would love to see it. And I think it would catch a lot of people off guard. And I tend to feel that Bitcoin will do the opposite of what the masses are anticipating. So if everyone's anticipating $15,000 Bitcoin returning to new lows, I think we shoot on up and do the opposite. But vice versa, if everyone's anticipating 100,000 Bitcoin in 2023, that's when we go down to 15,000 and reach a new low, because the market tends to do the opposite of the overall consensus of the market. That's what I have seen and experienced since 2017. But you guys let me know what you think in the comments right down below. 2024, 2025 is going to be amazing. Bitcoin price, which I expect, $165,000. I mean, lo and behold, anything above $100,000, boom, party, Puerto Rico, it's going to happen. But I think that is very conservative considering the previous all-time high was 69,000. So all we got to do is 2x from the previous all-time high, which is nothing when it comes to Bitcoin. We can hit 139,000, roughly 140,000 price action from a 2x. Now, what happens if we 3x was 70,000 times 3? Holy moly. We're talking about 140, we're talking about $210,000 Bitcoin price action. Very realistic. It could happen. It's happened before. We have seen 5, 6, 7, 8x from a Bitcoin cycle. But hey, I mean, we got to keep a lot of factors in play here as well. Also, you have the dollar hyperinflating in real time. You have banks collapsing. You have chaos in the world. And these are unprecedented times we have never experienced before. And we finally have a uncorruptible money, in which is Bitcoin, in which cannot be basically controlled by any politician or government. They can't add to the supply. It's the first money with a hard cap finite supply of 21 million. And that's why this is so brilliant. And that's why, I'd say sky's the limit, but there's no limit to the sky. And Bitcoin has no top because fiat crap has no bottom. And that, my friend, is a fact. You know what I mean? Thanks, bro. Respect. See you on the next yacht delivery on Durban. Where's that at? Is that in South Africa there? But anyways, fam, now for a recap of what I covered with you here in today's show. And yes, there is a QR Lightning code on the screen. So if anyone uses Lightning Network, such as the Strike app, you can scan it with your telephone. Bada boom, bada bing. And you can now zap sats, which is a way to send a tip. And I think it's awesome because when you send a super chat contribution, which I do appreciate, of course, I've received many of them over the years, YouTube takes 30%. So for every $5 sent, $2 goes to YouTube, Google, big tech, $3 goes to me. So if you want me to keep 100%, you can zap me some sats, and I greatly appreciate that. And it works quite simple. And massive shout out to everyone who has zapped me before, including Cosmic Ryan, Stack Stats Coin Father. We have Lazy Turtle, sent me 76,000 sats. Satwise actually sent a few. I greatly appreciate that, fam. It means a lot. And with that being shared, fam, now for the recap of what I covered with you here in today's show. We discussed the latest technical analysis as Bitcoin holds the 200-week average, as Trader says the inflection point is now here. We also discussed Gemini and Genesis filed to dismiss SEC lawsuit against the earned product. We also discussed the infamous Bitcoin troll Peter Schiff to drop a Bitcoin Ordinals NFT art collection, and this is real, I'm not making it up. Also in today's show, we discuss Apple and Google are systemic risks to crypto, explains the ex-Coinbase CTO, Balaji. We also discuss, according to JPMorgan Chase, Bitcoin price can reach $45,000. Let's go, due to the gold rising price. We also discuss, according to Credible Crypto, Bitcoin could erupt 150% this year and even touch $135,000, shattering the all-time high. But where do you feel the Bitcoin price is likely to go next? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll